All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do hair on this little girl and do her little bow. I'm gonna do the bow first just because it sounds fun and I might as well. So I'm gonna do the same color that I did her sweater. Ooh, if I can find it. There it is. I'll have it match it. Oh no, I want blue. I want blue. Let's do it blue. Okay, so I do have a reference photo. I'm going to use blue because I did blue leg warmers on her. So I'll just go ahead and get this blue little bow. Okay, and then I see a little bit of the headband underneath it right there. All right, I'll come back to that with some colored pencil details. For now, let me find a hair color that will look nice with her skin tone. I'm thinking something kind of like a dark, dark brown. That's nice. Okay, so we'll go ahead and approach her hair a little bit similar to how we did yesterday, where I'm gonna just fill it in with the marker, letting the marker go in the direction of the hair. And then I'm gonna come back in a minute and add highlights. You can leave the white of the paper for highlights. I've done that before. It's totally great to do that. It does take a little bit more planning. I find just coloring in the hair is a little bit easier. One thing I will do if you feel it is overwhelming to do the hair is I'll actually do it in sections. So what I mean by that is I'll do, for example, this section that I just drew, then I'll come in with my white and I'm going to get some highlights. So you can see on the reference photo how bright those highlights are right there. Let me press pretty hard with my white pencil and see if I can just capture a few of those highlights. Okay, and then I'll do the next section, and that way it kind of starts to feel a little bit less overwhelming. For her hair, let me get the fine point here. She's got sort of soft hair right in here, so I'm going to take a brown pencil and I'll blend that towards her forehead in a minute. Okay, let me get the area underneath here. Now the underneath parts are generally a lot darker because the light's not getting in there, so I'm going to get that with the marker pretty dark. And you'll see again, I'm leaving a tiny bit of a margin because I don't want that to blur over into her face. You can, if you got good control with your marker and it doesn't bleed at all, you can go right up to her face, but you can also come in a later step and, and get it with like a black colored pencil or something, which I think is what I'm gonna do here. And while I've got this black colored pencil, I'm going to sweep in some shadows in there. I don't know how well that's reading on the camera, but I darkened up that area. Okay, because I want some contrast. I want this front piece of hair to look like it's got the light and the back piece of hair is a little bit darker. Okay, brown pencil for the hairline here, and I'll just sort of fade that in. This little hairpiece headband that she's got on, I'm going to darken one edge and I'm going to lighten the other edge, and that's going to feel a little bit more 3D. And I'll do the same on the bow. Let me catch the light on the top of the bow and let me shadow under the bow. Okay, and that I think would be a good start there. And then we'll do the other side of her hair. It's interesting, I'm looking at the camera and the white is popping more on the camera than it does in real life. I'm going to see if I can blur it a little bit just so that it looks on camera more the way I kind of want it to look in real life. Okay, that's all right. All right, now let me get her other side of her hair and then we'll be done with her for the most part. She doesn't have shoes, so I got most of her. This is how I end up with all these unfinished demos because I'm like, I don't know, I need a reference photo for shoes. I don't get to it. Okay, let me get this part here. So if you're nervous about hair, do it in sections. Do this, give it a highlight, and then do the next part, give it a highlight. If it starts to feel a little bit overwhelming. Okay. Do a little bit of white. Do a little bit of black. And what else do we want to add? Maybe we're done. Maybe we're done. I'm going to take my brown and I'm just going to get a little bit more hair coming away from her little part right there. Okay. I might call it. I mean, listen, guys, I'm never done. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to get bored of the other thing I'm doing, and I'm going to come back and probably mess around with this a little more, but I think I can probably leave it alone for now. Okay, hope that's helpful. We'll do more faces for sure next week as we start getting into the women's wear project. If you guys have any questions, just send me a message.